Hey everybody, it's Heather with Sound in Motion, and today we're going to talk about how to get 10 times the results out of 1/10 of the practice. Most people practice really unconsciously. They have no idea what they're practicing. They just hope that hours spent practicing equates to them being a better dancer. And I'm here to tell you that it does not. I've seen many people practice for hours and hours and hours, and sure, they may improve for a little bit, but they could have improved by leaps and bounds. So I'm going to give you today a systematic approach to practice that develops mastery, right? Who would like to master their spins, right? So let's get started. The first thing is we need to know, and this may sound really silly, but you need to know what you're practicing. Not just, I'm going to practice my spins. We need to know at a very granular level what we are practicing, because many times in dance and in all the things that honestly we suck at, right? All the things that we're like, I really want to get better at spinning. Spinning is so complex, so to just practice your spins is not going to get you anywhere, because there's so many different layers and so many different levels of things that you could be practicing. So what you're going to do is you're going to define what you're practicing clearly and specifically, right? So, for example, in my spin challenge course, I give you 7 different techniques to work on in your spins. And I always tell people, pick one. So, for example, just engaging my core, right? Keeping my core on throughout my whole spin, right? I talk about keeping our tailbone down and lots of other stuff. We'll do more videos on that. But when I do that, what I need to do, I've created my definition, right? So I've defined what it is that I'm going to practice. I'm going to practice keeping my core on. So before I start moving at all, I need to make sure that my body knows what that feels like. Because dance is a body thing, right? Otherwise you're just like crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. So once I know what my core feels like when it's on versus when it's off, and then I'll even just stand there and turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, or do whatever opposites to create contrast for my brain to know what is going on, right? This is the conscious part, right? The conscious part means you're going to be in your brain, and your brain needs to connect to your body, because those are the things that we need when we dance. So I've got my first thing. I've created my definition. I am going to work on keeping my core on when I spin. And now when I teach this in my workshops, what I'll have people do then is I'll have them pick one thing, and I'll have them practice that one thing. And I try to teach them to meditate on it, right? You should know at any point in time whether your core is on or off, right? So how you get this information is you have an instructor help you with finding, okay, this is where I need to be with this. So I need to make sure that you know how to engage your core, or whatever it is that you're practicing. This works for anything, right? So I create my definition, typically with the help of an instructor, because I don't know what I don't know, right? And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move and dance, and what we want to get really good at is we want to get really good at understanding what's going on in my body in real time, right? So number one thing I have students tell me is, they ask me, am I doing it right? I'm like, I don't know. Are you doing it right? Do you know what's going on in your body? Because if you don't know what's going on in your body, you can't fix it, right? You cannot fix something just through the teacher telling you when it's right or wrong. It's the most inefficient way of learning how to get better at something, is just doing it over and over again, right? And then asking somebody, was that wrong or was that right? Right? It's not the best way. So what you're going to do is you need to know whether your core is on. You need to walk around and feel it. You need to then start moving. Maybe start just shifting weight. Maybe start moving into a basic step, right? And keeping your core on. Then try your spin and see if your core was on in your spin. If it wasn't, what part of your spin did it let go on? Did it let go in the beginning, in the middle, or the end? Do you have any idea what's going on there? It's asking these better questions, and then the key is you're going to rank it on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Because when our brain asks a qualitative question, right, I'm checking on the quality of what's going on here. So when I ask that question of, how is the quality? Am I a rock star, or am I somewhere in the middle, or somewhere in between the middles, right? It forces, you get so much more information than just a yes or no question, was my core on or off, right? It's all about diving deep and just really being aware of what's going on in my own body in real time, right? It's not after the fact that I've done it, and then I ask my teacher, did I do it right? Right? So we really want to move away from that, and this is how you go and you learn it from your instructor, and then once you have a good handle on it, a good understanding of it in your brain, then you take it on your own, and then you can practice it. Then, so we have step one is I need to define it, right? Preferably with the help of an instructor, or if you already know what you're doing, then go ahead, you've got your definition. Number two, I'm going to start moving and start feeling what that is, not necessarily in the movement that I'm going to be doing, because the move I'm going to be doing is faster and there's a lot of other things involved in it. So I have to be able to do said technique like by itself first, right? Then after that, then I can go to doing it while social dancing, right? So one more time, step one, define it. What are you working on, right? If I'm working on my core, I'm working on holding my core engagement throughout my whole spins, or whatever you're working on holding it throughout, right? So that's thing number one. Thing number two is I'm just going to initiate movement in any way, right? Practice that concept without going full speed to music, right? I'm going to slow and try and develop a really good understanding of what things, where I might break or where I might lose it, moving slowly first. Step three, I then can try it with slow music, moving through my normal dance routine or whatever it is that I'm doing, right? So that I can understand it and understand what's going on there first. If I just go full blast at full speed at it, I'm not going to have an idea of what's going on, okay? So once I have that, then it's checking in on what's going on. If I find that there are continually spots, like I'm like, oh, I let go of it every time I do a left spin. I let go of my core. This is the granular level that we want to understand, and it's really going to be helpful for improving our dancing, right? We want to dive in deep and have a deeper understanding of it. So as I'm practicing, I want to take note of all of this information that I'm getting, right? I'm gathering information about how my body is responding to my request for my core to stay on, or whatever I am practicing, right? So I realize, oh, on my left turn, I always let go of my core. And then I can now take that information back to an instructor and be like, hey, this is what's happening. Can you help me fix it? Or I can try to troubleshoot on my own. I can look at other things that I know about spins. Maybe I'm letting my foot turn in on my left turn, but not my right turn. And that's why my core is disengaging, right? There's all these little things. And if you practice like that, I promise, not only will you develop a level of mastery that far exceeds your expectations, but the rate at which you develop that sense of mastery is going to increase so dramatically compared to what you would have learned in the same amount of time just practicing your old way, right? So as you do this, as you get more comfortable with it, what'll happen is you are connecting your body to itself in real time. The better your body is able to connect to itself in real time, the faster you can learn, the faster you'll become a better dancer, and the more fun you'll have, I promise, right? So I hope this serves you. If you like it, love it, share it, and we'll see you next time.